Hey everybody, it's Paula SewScrapMuse. Welcome to my February update. Today is March the 3rd, and I know this because I have very painfully signed up to do a 30-day kick-sit challenge. It's a particular exercise that we do in zoo. It's a shit of an exercise and it really strains you. So yeah, I definitely know it's day 3. On the good side, today, Saturday, went for a walk with the girls and breakfast and did our exercises and did all of that sort of thing. I'm sitting at reach goal, yay, 13,942 steps. So I'll get to 14,000 by the end of the day because it's not even 6 o'clock yet. So here we go. Now, haul to start with. I am still lucky for me. I'm in the black. I'm $76.57 in the black because I've had some finishes, so that was quite nice. So, and I did get some things gifted to me. The first one is this one from my friend Rosie. I actually really like all these old seed packet things. I think it was kind of Cross Stitch and Crunchy Crafts or no, CSN magazine. They did some series a couple of years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where they had some fruit and some flowers, and they're much bigger, like about 3 or 4 times the size of these. How big are these? And they were quite cool. So 58 wide, 78 high, so not that big. These things were like 100, 150 or something, and they were really nice. But yeah, I like, pardon flashing you, I kind of like that they're a bit different and a bit old-fashioned. Lots and lots of colours, so they'll be quite confetti heavy. But still, I do like the idea of seed packets, and maybe using them in a kitchen one day or something like that. When I'm old and can embarrass my grandchildren, that'd be cool. One of the other things Rosie gave me was this book here, Cherry Parker's Cross Stitch ABCs. It's quite cool. It's very New Zealand. Obviously the K is Kiwi. Pahurakawa down here in this corner, which is my favourite. Sorry, can't see. Last time I talked about Kowhai yellow. That's what the Kowhai flower looks like. It is beautiful. It's lovely. And this bird here, B for bellbird, they sound beautiful. They love Kowhai. They really do. So yeah. But I'm undecided as to whether I actually would do anything in this book. So if I'm still undecided in a couple of months' time, I will pass it on or sell it, I guess. Chris, my lovely postcard pal from last year, sent me a card. I need to return your mail and one of the wee little prairie schooler freebies, which I like doing these. They're quite cool. Prairie Schooler, there's a shop over on the North Shore that sells them, but the customer service is abysmal, so I kind of refuse to use them. I really don't like that shop. For a couple of dollars each, I got some Little House Needleworks. I haven't taken this one out of the packet and I don't want to glare. So this one is all dolled up and it's joy, nice and Christmassy. I reckon I could make these look like Pahurakawas, which maybe I will use her book. I'll use her stitching diagram to make them look like Pahurakawas, and that'll be very Kiwi, I think. Also, these ones, and these were part of a pack from Little House and Crescent Colours. So I've got Faith and Wisdom, and I'm going to do these for one of our boot camp leaders. So she's very strong in her faith, and I kind of admire, no, not kind of, I do admire that because I am not there, you know. I also picked up an old mirror. I don't think the person knew that it was as valuable as it was. It cost me more postage to New Zealand than it did for the chart. So Scent of Old Roses, which is what, number 56. So yeah, I quite like that one. And one which I was super happy to get, which is called Irish Blessings. The cover is just a zillion copies of the same thing basically, and it's the short blessing that I like. So that'll be done. I struggle with this one. Okay, so the blessing itself is lovely. You know it's an Irish blessing. It's made to look like an Irish blessing. Why do you need to say it? Don't know. Don't get it. Michelle? Any reason? Any? You'd be the one I'd expect to contribute to this conversation. Right. I had a finish. Oh, and a finish for me, not a finish for someone else or a round robin or anything like that. So remember, I was doing Bethlehem as my travel piece. I started this on January the 15th and I finished very late in the evening on February 28th so that I could claim it in my February budget. It is on 28 count gold spinner opalescent Lugana from Silkweaver. It's the old one. So I omitted the stars because there's no point. I've left one in here just so I could show you. It's pretty much, it's superfluous on this fabric. I changed the raven to a dove. I used eggshell, which is charted in here anyway, and 168, and I omitted the flowers that are in the bottom border. So that is it there. See this little tiny patch here? That's one of the stars. Honestly, once it's on the wall, never gonna see it. So I do like the sheepies. I really like the sheepies. And my French knots. I actually managed to do French knots and they're not beads, which is amazing for me. Pretty proud of myself, if I do say so myself, multiple times. Sorry. Yeah, so now Bethlehem is going to my friend Andy, and she's going to stitch it and then she's going to send it back to me. And this is one that I want to pass around the world if we can. Because I had a couple of questions about it when I was stitching it, people who wanted to stitch it for themselves and so forth. And I thought, well, I could sell it because there's people who want to buy it and they want to buy it for what I paid for it. Kind of not really into that as much. I do like to pass rather than. And I thought, well, I've created a hashtag for it. I will share that around. So once it comes back from Andy, expect to see it in another video and yell out if you want to stitch it, because I will just write you down on a list and whoever does it can pass it on to the next person. Not selling it, passing it. Progress wise, I had some progress during the month, which is also quite nice. So Fairy Idol, which is lent to me from Gail. So I had this side here done and part of the bunny's head done, and my goal for the month was to get the rest of the bunny and that little tapari over there sorted. This went to Wellington with me and sat beside my chair open the whole time, so I actually got quite a bit done. So the bunny, the tapari, started on the grass even, and now I'm working away. The next bit, while it's going into hibernation, the next bit will just be to finish the stand that the bunny's on and start a bit more of the fairy's wing that goes up through here. So yeah, quite pleased with that one. So, but I do need to focus on the very last. It's the last, yay! Round robin piece. So that arrived and I started that this morning. This is Melinda's piece. So theme is hers and it is the Nora Witches. And I'm doing Gigi. You can see I've started here. I couldn't be bothered thinking. So I did the 90 degrees split thing, and so I can stitch my own way and it'll still cross over exactly the same as everybody else's. Andy did that one, so everything. And the fabric, because I know someone will ask about the fabric. It is Under the Sea, Yorick, Linen, Opalescent, 32, 18 by 26 piece. I have to say 32 linen. And when it's dyed, I am wearing my reading glasses and I have it like this up to my nose to see all the spots, because I'm blind, but not Melinda's fault. So yeah, I'm that's probably about 3 hours worth by the time I got the pieces, and then I got distracted watching Pretty Southern's meat video and a couple of other videos today, and refereeing my children's fights, because, well, you can hear them giggling, well, you might be able to hear them giggling now. The nearly 15-year-old and the 8-year-old, they have been at each other's throats today. And of course their father's away. He's refereeing today, so no help at all. Oh, and for my travel piece, because finishing one and got to start another one, Jen, one of my co-workers, gifted me this. So it was so cool, and she gifted me little mini bottles of wine to go with it as well and everything. And I started on the reindeer one. I haven't put very much in, just basically started on that top band, and it's just a 28 count white Legana, because honest to goodness, the colour wheel, you don't actually need too much else. The colours are pretty bright, which, you know, you would expect with a Satsuma Street, right? Sorry, this is my travel ring. It's got a thing of Nymo on it. I love Nymo to bead, especially the Mill Hill kits, because you can be faster because you don't have to swap your thread all the time, which is something that really annoys me about Mill Hill. I know, small pity. So yeah, and then for the reindeer reins, as you can see, I actually picked up some, throw it around, Paula, some fireworks at Ribbon Rose when they were clearing it out. And I don't know if they're clearing it out because it wasn't selling, or if they're clearing it out because it's shit to stitch with, or whatever. I mean, it was $11.90 originally. I paid $2, and I got a couple of this, a couple of a deeper blue. I got some Whisper, and yeah, so I thought I'd do the reins in this, so, and see what it's like. Louise bought me my daughter, she bought me a new little case for my travel stitching. So I'm using that, and it's offending people, and it's great. I wouldn't normally use the word, because my kids would be horrified, but there you go. So yeah, that's probably about me. Yeah, we went down to Wellington for a few days, as you would see from my Instagram account. Heaps and heaps of scenery, heaps of things to do. Met up with Catherine, who is Country Stitch Fabrics, who dyes a lot of the fabrics that I use, and Kerry, a friend of mine who'd moved down from Auckland. Had lunch, it was great. We went to the Lego exhibit that is now coming to Auckland in a couple of months' time, but I suspect that Mace will want to go and see it again. So it was a good exhibit to go and see, huge things. There was Mona Lisa portrait, and it was all done, like if you stood far enough away, it was like cross stitch because it was all 1 square by 1 squares. And then, no, they play with it, awesome. And then my husband and I are going to Sydney later on in the month, not on Zach's birthday this year, we've actually timed it slightly better. And I don't know what to take with me. Do I take just the Satsuma Streets? Do I take Fairy Idol? Do I take, I'm kind of feeling guilty about not touching this one for a long time. I've done virtually nothing. You right, Zach? No, half left, eh? Dad jokes. That is all I've done. Worked out the conversion and stitched a few stitches, and that's it. It is on a silk weaver. My handy dandy notebook will tell me, which is conveniently turned to the Bethlehem page. It is again a 28 count Lugano Opalescent and Elegance. So yeah, I'm doing the silver conversion, and some blues that I liked. So we've got, let me see, 932, 931, 930 of course, 762 is the light grey, and 646 is the dark, and then this one is PB32. Several skeins of that. So yeah, I don't know what to take, because we're coming back and it's going to be a 4-day cruise, and yeah, I'm going to have 4 days on a boat. not doing a heck of a lot except going to see some comedy shows and completely unwinding, and I'd get a heap of progress done. I reckon I'd finish those bands, potentially the letters, and start working my way down these other bands. You know, by the time you factor in 2.5 hours on a flight, you know, whatever we do in the evening, and then the day, 4 days on a boat. So yeah, but then I get heaps done on Fairy Idol as well. Yeah, decisions, I don't know. Listen to me, I've already ruled out taking this at Summer Street. I've got Pretty Little Sydney. I could take Pretty Little Sydney, but that means I'd have another start, and I was trying to get my whip count down. So, yeah, I don't know. Thoughts? Anyway, that's about me, apart from past the stash. So Rose in Morning, and I said to let me know your favourite rose, and I was right. Michelle's rose is her favourite rose. So I did some Google searching with what people said, worked out, oh, I like that. No, it's not going to grow in Auckland. I like that. That's going to grow in Auckland. That's going to go maddo in Auckland. So Threads All Over suggested the Claire Austin climbing rose, and that will grow in Auckland, and it's going to go mad, which I love, because it's going to hide Simon's tool shed, because it's ugly, because corrugated tin sheds really are ugly. I mean, at least it's on the other side of the house, but yeah. So I'm going to go and get myself a couple of Claire Austins. So congratulations, Threads All Over. I will tag you in the last video, but if you could get me your details, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, so I don't have a pasta stash for this video, which I know is really odd for me, but next time maybe. Keep watching, keep staying healthy and happy, and talk to you later. Bye!